Hey everyone, a quick positions update for DML. I need to go through and assign people their positions and then go ahead and roll this out. But let me just show you. We finally got to the point where this is awesome. It's really working well. So, it's what you've probably seen now, especially if you watched a lot of either stuff we're doing or any other GPT stuff as well. Everyone's filling in a page, right? By auto-filling in the page. You put in some titles, some keywords, and auto-fill a page. It's great. But what do we have now? We have the ability through our remote control method of auto-filling in a ton of websites at once. So let me just show you what something like this looks like, just a sample file. See this? So this would say go to the first website, okay? Create an article, all right? And when you do that article, make sure it has 10 subsections, okay? And these are going to be the keywords for guiding it. This is going to be the tone we want you to speak in. Okay, we don't have any custom commands for this right now. This is how big the subtitles should be in terms of word count, and that's how big the articles can be in terms of word count. Okay, so we dialed this thing in where we can actually produce these articles, and when we do, we're actually able to create all these articles onto one or more websites remotely. That's great. So what comes after the creation of the articles? Like say we create this many pages. This is like the home page plus all the pages in the menu kind of thing, right? Okay, those become articles. They're not assigned the pages yet, but they got generated. The advantage of this is that I can actually run things like this pretty automatically. I can actually get the work done. I can set it to run and go away and come back and it's done, okay? And it took a while to make it robust, but now it is. So we move from there to the next thing that we do, okay? And that's called iterations. So here's a point I should make. When these things get created, they get numbered. There's an article ID for this article, like number 289, then number 290, then number 291, whatever the article ID is, okay? So then with the iterations, I say go to that website, okay? Starting with article ID 289, 290, 291, whatever, on that website. And that's the point. These things that got created are these things here for the iterations. I need 5 variations each, okay? I just want 5 right now because why? I want to look them over, make sure they look good, and that I don't need to tweak anything, right? If I do, I'll go back and tweak. But then anyway, it's like, then I'll come back when I'm sure I have it right and do the rest of them for like a batch of 100 variations, okay? Yeah. And so then what? Well, when you do the iterations, we do want you to be able to go up to 4,000. Use either a default tone or a random tone. We're going to say default, like whatever the tone was that we identified for the project in the first place, whatever the tone was for it. Go ahead and go with that tone. Okay? How's that for cool? So it'll create 5 versions of itself and then 5 versions of the next one, the next, like 5 websites worth of these pages. Okay? Then we'll do 95 more websites worth of these pages. That kind of thing. For the subtitles and for the keywords, here's the coolest thing in this case. Kind of hard to explain, but it would be something like this. Empty for default. Yeah, when we go creating the articles. Okay. And then creating the iterations. Let me make sure I'm on the right page here. Subtitles. For article ID 289, I can look them up and paste them in, okay? What does that mean? The subtitles would be whatever the subtitles were for this thing that came out. In other words, these 10 subtitles here. So when I'm generating the iterations, what it's doing is using those 10 subtitles to generate iterations, okay? And so my point is, if I got this thing the way I wanted, it's great already. But if I need to, I can go in and change some of the subtitles and put it here. Put that list in here. Then when I do that, I can put in the keywords for each of those subtitles as well. And they can be separated too. It's kind of complex, but it means if I have 10 subtitles, I can paste them in and then paste in 10 keywords to go with that. But usually we're finding we don't need to do it, which is great. It's just great. And then go to the next article, do the same thing. Next, do the same thing. The point is, though, is that we do have that kind of incredible control. We can say, hey, you had, how many subtitles do we really want this article to have? 10 for sure, or just 8 or 12. We can actually say, put in these subtitles, build the page off these concepts. And then this list of keywords you see that's comma separated can be for the first line, then the next line for the next title, the next line for the next title, and the next line for the next title. In other words, exactly matched all the way down. Okay? So I'm not going to show, it's just too much to bother showing, but the fact of the matter is, we can absolutely master the output. So the reason that we're doing a few variations at first is to see if we have to play with this some, right? To get it the right way. And then we go hog wild and do the rest. So just letting you know, it's amazing because dialing these things in the right way and then running them means creating incredible websites remotely. How's that for nuts? Okay, what comes after that? Import pages content. So here's the idea of importing pages contents. When we wrote the articles, they were not assigned to pages, but now we can deal with that. So we can have our domains and we can have it fill in the metadata, okay? And then it's going to create the pages, the content for the index, the content for this new page here in the menu, and then this other page of the menu, other page of the menu, other page of the menu. So the keywords that'll drive the metadata for each of these pages is going to be whatever we set them for on a page to keyword basis, going across, which is cool because then our pages create themselves and they fill in the metadata based on the main keywords each time around. Now, where's the content to create that stack of pages? I'm saying make page 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Make those pages. Where's the content? Right here. That is the stuff that we created in the first place. Those are the iterations. So we downloaded them. Now, normally it's just going to be, I put in weird stuff at the top just to make sure it's coming out right, but here you go. So the var 1 series is for the first page. It's all the pieces necessary. This right here, that's a web page. That's the index page content for the web page. And then this will be the web page for the next website, that index page. In other words, the home page. So what I have here is 10 home pages. That's right here. What about the first inner page, the one in the menu next to the home page? Whoa, that's page 2, isn't it? So that goes to here. So that's 10 page 2s, right? The second page in the menu. Now what do we have? 10 page 3s. Get that? And then 10 page 4s and 10 page 5s. And the final page, right? Page 6, if I had a page 6 entered, it would be there. So on here, I would normally make sure to have 6 pages, okay? So, yeah, I'd set up my 6 pages along with those Varksheet contents, okay? And I'd just go all the way down. So I'll do 100 of these along with the 100 iterations I created, the 5 and then the 95, right? The 100 that I created for those pages, those 5 or 6 pages or whatever it is that we're launching with, right? Times 100 websites. So that's absolutely amazing. It also means that when we do our keywords, we can make sure to focus on each city going down. And the page titles, if we're putting cities in them, we focus on them going down. So this will be city by city by city by city by city by city, meaning that as we generate the websites, they're focused on their own cities, right? How's that? That's awesome, right? And so we can use that information to apply in here as well. So it's city by city by city by city by city. Oh, I love it. Somebody said, how do you do that? Well, I'll show you the dumbest, easiest way. I mean, we do have tokens, right? We can do it like that. City token, drag it down, right? So then each of these will work with whatever the variables are that we give it. And that's going to be based on the city in a case like that. Or we'll just get it from our list of cities that we put wherever and copy it. And that's a piece of cake. We can concatenate that. So anyway, we are close. I'm just letting people know the functionality because I need to keep getting new projects in. But what I'm doing as well is working with copywriters to get them trained and getting a couple more tweaks into place for managing the microcontrol level, for the professional output we want. And then this stuff just starts going, okay? What else do we have here? By the way, just so you know, blogs. We can now auto-produce blogs. So what domain is the blog going on? What is the blog? The title. The slug, leave it empty. It'll auto-generate the slug from the title. Okay? Who made the blog? I can leave this empty too. It's going to auto-generate that auto-generate the names. And then what are the blog tags? Oh, that's in anything. That's just coming off the keywords, which is kind of the same idea here if I want. And the number of subtitles, inside the blog. How many sections do I want to that blog? Probably 3 or 4, maybe 5, okay? You know what else it's going to do when it makes the blogs? It's going to create a random number of comments for the blog from 0 to 4. So any number of comments from 0 to 4, blog after blog after blog after blog creates a really natural outline, okay? And that's neat, man. I can do as many blogs as I want per website, right? So if I've got 100 websites and I want to do 4 blogs each as an average, or I can do some for 4, some for 3, some for, however I want to do it. I can put the same domain 3 times and then the next domain, m4ap2.com, be the idea. I can do that just once, and I can have M4, and I can have that go down like a bunch of times. And so my blogs, I'm going to have 3, 4 on the first website, 1 on the next website, and then 8 on the next website. Yeah, we can do that. So it's really, really awesome. It is so awesome. So what we do is just map this thing out. We paste in the whole 100 domains, copy it a few times, and then just randomly delete through it. And we wind up with this totally different array, this awesome array. And then we just do our blog combinations and copy them down, right? With our tags and our subtitles and whatever our titles are, we'll mix and match through that. 3, 4, 5, 6, like 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. And then we'll just grab that and kind of like paste that down. And then randomly sort some of those so that it's all different. So anyway, then it's going to go create the blogs on all those websites for us with comments. So we are auto-generating the pages and the comments. And what else? Toss. Theme option settings, the hardest thing there is, which wouldn't seem like it here. As a matter of fact, it's so good, we don't even need to put the stuff in anymore. It knows to do that. So what it's saying is go to the main page where it's got all those sections running down, right? All those sections that we want those sections to autofill on the other pages so that the pages can monitor and adjust them to improve ROI, okay? So this is the 30,000 foot looking down point of view title, right? And what's the tone that you go with it for that website? Because this is going to be 100 websites, have basically the same title, but we can mix and match for exactness. We can even put the cities in here. Tone, we can cycle through our tones. Whatever tones that we think each work great, then we can just highlight that and drag it down. To mix and match tones. Keywords for each of these things, okay? And then that's it. Save, go. And guess what it does? It creates all those front pages for us. Even the testimonial section. So now those main sections are auto-filled, and we can go through the websites and see that they're all auto-filled. And then what? We can decide what sections to leave on, if there's any sections we want to turn off, universally. And then page by page, they're going to have the sections on, just naturally. And that's because anyone will land on any one of those pages. And there you go. It's pretty powerful all the way around. So now that we've studied up and learned that for AdSense made the job really hard. And people are saying, it's so hard to get AdSense approval. And it turns out that the majority of getting AdSense approval is just making sure you don't have a spammy website. In other words, we were thinking to have our pitch pages. If you got hit by a motorcycle, give us a call. If you got hit by a car, give us a call. If you got hit by a commercial truck, give us a call. If you got hit by a school bus, give us a call. Kind of thing, right? Pitchy pages. Well, that was our plan. Do pitchy pages times as many cities in the area. And the answer is no. Don't do that. If you want AdSense, make sure your website is not spammy. So that is going to solve several things at once. We create a bunch of pages that are information based, and I just did a couple of videos about how that works. I showed something called Also Asked in a couple other videos that I produced today as well. So when you're looking at my channel at this video, hopefully you're subscribed to my channel, okay? Hit the notification bell, because we're coming out with so much stuff so fast. And so anyway, look at the other videos I released today, the same day, or yesterday, depending on the time zone shift. And what you're going to see are some videos about Auto Asked. Watch the longest one. The other one's just an intro. But what it does is explain what's going on. So we are producing information-based pages mostly onto the websites. Many more information-based pages than pitch pages. And it turns out it's so easy to look up and organize stack of these things, although we already built that into our process. So we don't even have to go that far. It's just good to see the visual to understand it. Okay? And so what that means now is... Oops, I better put this on. Okay, what that means is that we create information-based pages mainly, pitch pages in the front, but then information-based pages. And then on the information-based pages, we answer the point for the first 85% of the page. And at the bottom 15%, that's where we say, if you've been in an auto accident, give us a call. We close it with us. We get the pitch at the bottom. That gets to be our top of funnel. Okay? But we can still have the sidebar that makes all the main points because it's out of the way. It's over there. Okay? The main content should answer the topic, right? And then pitch stuff should be over here and down at the bottom. Not at the top, but down at the bottom. Having said that, it is okay to do pattern interruption. So we're talking about the topic, and then we take a little break where we have an ad for us or AdSense or Call Now or whatever. And then we get back to the topic right below that. So the ad is kind of short and sweet, doesn't take up too much room. So as you're scrolling down, you see that the topic continues, right? And you can keep reading. And then we can have another pattern interruption down here, whether it's an ad word or a Call Now. And then get back to the topic and continue. And then we can close the page with a call to action, give us a call, right? That's important. So the more such pages we make, the more organic traffic we get through all these different doors, many of whom are not going to need to give us a call, but we're answering their questions, many of whom will give us a call. And by creating more pages, we open more doors to get more traffic to the site. Through all those different channels where they started their questions. They're all asking different things. So the more pages we create that answer their things, that's awesome. And then we can have our little pattern interrupts and our close and our left, sidebar, left or right sidebar. Okay. The other thing that's cool, and of course the top of the page gets to pitches too, just generally, by having a phone number and a menu and stuff. And they can click to other pages. It's no problem. But the other thing is, The more we do that, the more Google sees us as a authority website, right? Not spammy anymore. Solid authority website. The thing that's really cool about that is because say our typical competitor has 200 pages on their website, of which 20 pitch, like 10%, and the other 90% are information driven. They actually answer topics, develop the theme, all that kind of thing. Well, we got to catch up with them. Say we want to catch up with them and we want to create like 300 pages on our website, so we're really becoming a strong authority site with quality content on quality websites, on quality servers, everything great, right? How long does it take to create 300 pages? Well, think about it this way. It takes about 2 minutes to create a page, a minute and a half for those toss. So a minute and a half times, even if we're going out for 100 websites, right? That's like 150 minutes, right? So it's 2.5 hours to fill in the front pages. And then when we create the pages themselves, they really also take about a minute and a half each. Now we're creating a bunch of pages, right? So if you think 300 pages, minute and a half, right? You're thinking 450 minutes or so, right? Which is whatever the heck it is. I guess it's 7.5 hours, something like that. Now, 7.5, 8.5, 9, whatever. You're talking about like 10 hours, right? But guess what? The way we have our remote control, we get to run in parallel onto multiple websites, and we get to let these things run all night. Like literally, while I can walk out of the office and leave 6 different remote control panels running in parallel to get the job done, which is nuts. So the job's done, fast and efficiently, right? We can keep updating the sites really well. So this is more demand than we thought we would have. We thought originally we were going to be creating like 5-page websites, 6-page websites, 10-page websites. At the end of a year, 12, 15, 20-page websites. No, we're going to start off by getting ourselves up to 300 pages on the websites. For anyone who says, what if we're creating content too fast for Google? The answer is not anymore. Google's really, really used to the concept that we have these kinds of tools in our toolbox. The only thing we have to do is before we flip indexing on, we have to make sure the editors go through the websites and check out the pages and make sure they're good to go. Then we flip on indexing. The reason we don't mind so much about that anymore is we also are working on troubleshooting. So as we create the pages, we are very clearly and specifically labeling the companies involved to the degree that that matters, phone numbers involved to the degree that that matters, and so on. This way, the web pages are really getting created very, very well. And the content's being made very well, and it's happening all at once. So it's been an incredible amount of work, but I'll tell you what, trying to do this on a single website at a time is one thing. Everybody sees that, right? You probably see other hey, look at us fill in the fields and make this site really fast. That's great. I saw you do that. I saw you check it out. Now, what would you charge me to do 100? Right? Because how long is it going to take you to do 100 websites like that? Well, that's why we built all the functionality the way we did for, the front end, the pages, the articles, the pages, the blogs, the iterations, the toss, the testimonials, to get all this stuff to happen efficiently so that we can do this on as many websites as we need to win the game. And that's cool because it allows us to really hit it hard. So for everybody in DML, even for RoofMax, the projects that we're putting together now at this level, we can do this for, all the accident attorney stuff, all the drug and alcohol abuse rehab centers, for roof max, and for anything else people want to get into on DML for the positions, we're going to be able to start pushing these things out and probably finalize even at a high level like that in a day per industry or overnight per industry. If you think about, getting the images generated takes another day. We even figured out how to handle that, how to make the image. We already auto-generate unique images. Our question is, how do we put them into pages that use static content instead of primarily dynamic content? We figured out how to make the images look good on the pages so they don't look weird. We figured that out. There are a bunch of other things we're working on as well, which are easy slip-ins that add to the SEO as we go. So the pages will just naturally get better. And yeah, I'm very impressed. Like interlinking, figuring out formulas for creating interlinks through the pages that make good sense. All that stuff is coming and not hard. So, I love it. It's all downhill now because the hard stuff is done. Like the TOS, the TOS files, those are hard. Getting that along with testimonials and pages and blogs with the blog comments, that stuff is hard. Now, the updates and the upgrades and everything else that we're doing is so much easier. Everything is very much easier by now. We've figured out all the limits we had to overcome, all the questions about multi-threading getting in the way, what we have to do about using different keys without tripping over the keys and without OpenAI going, hey, we see too many sites using your key, so it must be hacked, so we just flipped it off on you. Figuring out how to deal with all that stuff has been taking up our time day by day, just going through bits and pieces until we got it all done. There was a time when I'd said, okay, we're good to go, flip it on. And then it just would not produce 95 pages. It would stop at like 23 or 12 or 15 or 30. And we're like, why? Row by row was a different number. Then we figured out why. Subtitles were different. But the reason it would do that was because it hit a hard limit of 10 minutes with every single row. So as soon as it got to 10 minutes, it would just stop and go to the next row. It was like, no, I need it to run a row for like 45 minutes, So why is it stopping at 10? So yeah, we figured it all out. It just took a lot of work. Anyway, yeah. So what you see here that's different than everybody else's anything is that when people can fill in these files, they're doing it for one page or one website, right? And not us, when we're filling these things, we're filling them in for like 100 websites at once. And so these things run through all the websites, but smartly. So, yeah. Just letting you know, guys, we haven't been ignoring you. We haven't been ignoring your orders. We've been getting all this stuff done and working smartly. So, yeah, we're just about to take off and start autofilling all those websites and then just have them final edited. And then we're on a roll. It's not going to be hard at all to get the networks to accept us. We already did it with a spammy website. Now we're doing these with full-on authority websites, so they're amazing. And getting the live agent links into the pages, that's not just for 5 or 10 or 12 page websites anymore. It's for 300 page websites, that kind of thing. So so many more pages with so many more topics with the live chat, all the more ways to get people into the sites and get people asking the right questions. Phone number accommodates for everyone. Live chat accommodates for everyone. And AdSense will happen because the sites are authoritative as well as being just top quality in the first place. Yeah, very exciting. Very exciting. And it turns out that accident attorneys is the second most spammed request for AdSense, right? Next to mesothelioma, which is the most. That's what it turned out. And that was pretty amazing. I mean, straight out of the AdSense specialist's mouth. And he said, you can't get authorized with spammy websites. You have to make quality authority websites. And this is how you do it. You create good content holistically around the topics. It's like, okay. But we got it. We can do it now. We can do it automatically and efficiently and as much content as we need anytime. You just line it up. Double proof that the way it's coming out is the way we want, then just straight run it. And so, Yeah, no more hassles. Just production. I love it. Okay, just let you know, that's where we're at. Thanks for hanging in, and thanks for keeping up. And yeah, you're going to see me continue to pitch as I go, because I still have to pitch. We still have to create new stuff. I still need more money coming in for new things to keep going and keep building these tools anyway. But the fact of the matter is we're starting to produce now. And so as more money comes in from new projects, I get to build in interlinking on all the projects, right? And stuff like that. So yeah, it's amazing. All right. Talk to you soon.